Very well coached group. Coach Gillespie does a great job. They run to the football. They're long, they're athletic. And they know, their scheme. A little bit of at times, a bend but don't break type unit. So, execution is going to be important. Sustaining drives is going to be important, especially when we cross the 50, being able to get in the end zone.
Their scheme in the 3-3-5, how is it similar and different to K-State and other programs running that?
Yeah, they're playing a little bit more cover 2, out of it. Probably, a little more than what our guys do. But then they'll switch on you and play a lot more man, in some situational type stuff. So it's, it'll be a good challenge for us. Again, I think it does help our guys are used to the pictures of at least knowing who's who and where they line up to get some of those keys and tendencies.
How do you think DJ Giddens handled the fourth quarter of that game at Iowa State, helping you guys run out the clock?
I was so proud of him. I mean, he stepped right up and ran the ball hard, protected the football. I think he continues to get better and better, as the season is gone and getting big time carries in crucial moments like that is, I know it'll, and I know it has, and will continue to build his confidence and it'll be really good for us.
What's the scheme from what Gillespie's done, or 6 games enough of a pattern?
I think 6 games is a good sample. I mean, we have looked at some, and it matches up. He's consistent.
Coming off a bye week, you guys are in practice this week. Do you notice a little bit extra pep in the step from the recovery process, having a week off?
No, it was good timing for us. Definitely. I feel like even as the week has gone on, kind of after they got some time off last weekend to kind of get the motor going a little bit has been good, and excited to see him go again.
Coach, I think your top 3 receivers have only topped 100 yards once or twice this year combined. Can you describe just what kind of production you need from Malik, Phillip, and Kate to have the offense move through the air?
Yeah, I mean it's on everybody. The passing game, for it to be what it needs to be and what we want it to be is it's going to take everybody. And it's on all 3 levels. And but those guys are doing a nice job. Again, I think our continuity has improved over the last couple weeks, and something we got to keep moving forward.
Do you look for those big plays when you hit 2 of them against Iowa State? Obviously, Malik had the fumble and the touchdown to Phillip, but is that something that throughout the week you see, hey, here's something we could take advantage of?
We knew we were going to have some chances on 3rd down because they were going to play us in whether 4 or cover 0 and basically leave guys, in man-to-man coverage, worried about quarterback run, worried about some more conservative calls, and we knew it was something that we wanted to do was be aggressive and try to create a couple big plays in those down and distances, and it worked out.
And you feel like the Martinez-Deuce duo has really helped this team this year?
Oh man, I mean it's, obviously they put a lot of stress on people, and there's times that even you're watching tape and you'll see, whether Adrian keeps it or gives it, depending on how they decide to fit it and where they're going to go. You see guys kind of do double takes. You'll see a safety start to track one that doesn't have it and then react, and even just that much with those guys is the difference between 5 or 50 sometimes, and so it's a huge deal, and but again, it takes everybody, and we've been able to create some big plays with both those guys.
After Malik fumbled in that game against Iowa State, was there more of an emphasis placed on trying to get him the ball and really trying to keep him in the game and get him going?
I was proud of how he responded, and we were trying to. And knew he was going to be involved and carry some load for us, through the game, and how he responded and came back. Obviously, he was very upset with himself, but he jumped right back on the horse, and our guys were all very, very positive, encouraging, and nobody panicked. Understand that. Yeah, you never want bad things to happen, but sometimes bad things are going to happen. And being able to push through those things and still operate and compete was really proud of them.
In your experience on blitz pickups, is that something that
needs to be identified before the snap happens, or is that something that needs to be identified as the play's going on from your whole offense?
It's a little of both. I mean, there's definitely certain tendencies week to week that you're able to know before the snap what's going to happen. You know, sometimes you're not going to be able to, you know, and you know, whether it's a pre-snap recognition and being able to adjust it to get our back out, or if it's something that he's going to get used up, you know, based on a post-snap situation. You know, everyone's got to be on point and trust their keys. If it gets adjusted or if it doesn't, we roll it.
How hard is that to teach, like when guys are sending delayed blitzes?
We spend a lot of time at it, and it's hard on guys up front. It's hard on backs, and you know, you put a guy in a zero nose or you move him to a shade, it could change the call, and then it changes how everything all fits together. And so it's something that, you know, obviously we spend a lot of time at, but our guys and our backs have really done a great job, you know, in that part of the game.
How deep is your gadget play bucket?
Say that one more time.
How deep is your gadget play bucket?
You know, we got some more, but you know, I want him to get more than 8 yards, though. You know, but
it's been 3 games since you and Coach Kleiman told Adrian to cut it loose. How have you, how have you felt about how he's kind of handled that since that time?
no, I think he's done a tremendous job. I think our offense is, you know, again rallied around him and each other of just again continuing to get better. You know, and you know, like in Coach's words, cut it loose, not being afraid to make a mistake, but trying to be aggressive and making plays and while still, you know, he's done that and still let the game come to him, you know, which is something that you got to be able to do. And you know, I'm super proud of him. And I think, again, our best football is still ahead of us. We know that, and that's the exciting part.
And he hasn't been afraid to make a mistake, but yet he still hasn't made that mistake. He's not thrown an interception. How impressive has that been from your perspective?
You know, very much, but at the same time, you know, he does such a great job of studying and understanding pictures, and he's done a great job, you know, in our time together of playing what he sees. And so you're not guessing, you're not forcing, you know, that type of thing. So, but you know what? I mean, sometimes that's going to be the cost of doing business, and we just have to, again, move through it. If something does happen that, hey, it's not going to change, you know, how, I don't want it to change how he goes about anything or how we would go about anything. And you know, ultimately doing whatever we got to do to win the football game.
How reliable is Martinez's football IQ?
It's impressive. I mean, it's impressive. You know, there were some things, even in that last Iowa State game, that we were doing some things with some play action protections, and you know, there were twice in particular come to mind that, you know, I mean, he saw the blitz, adjusted the protection, kept the route on, and was able to distribute the football. And you know, anyone that didn't know what was going on may not have even known, you know, what was going on, you know. And so, again, but he studies it, he works at it, and, you know, he's special.
Couple more.
Teams have really been blitzing you guys, coming after you a little bit. Is finding more answers against the blitz still something you're trying to accomplish?
Oh, yeah. You know, I think it's, you know, and some of those are run and pass answers. You know, I mean, it's, you know, regardless of, I guess depending on the situation and what kind of blitz it is, what formation, personnel, down and distance, all those things. I mean, there's some things that, you know, if you're able to get it dialed and then greased, then all of a sudden, you know, that's where a 60-yard run comes for Deuce in Texas Tech, as you catch them in that blitz that, you know, we're playing cat and mouse a little bit, and all of a sudden you get them, and it's a huge play. Or it's a pass scheme. They're in a zero coverage, and you know, their guy gets picked off on a deal, and all of a sudden your guy's open, you get a huge play. So it's, you know, but again, it's every level has to do their job in whatever situation it is, and looking for big plays in those situations.
TCU's offense on the other side, I think they're third in the country in points per game. Obviously, you have trust in your defense, but is there any emphasis on trying to control the clock or just score? Obviously, you know, maybe try and match them with points.
You know, I think it's a game by game deal. I mean, you never go out and, at least I don't look at it this way. Oh, we have to score 14. You got to score 20. You got to, it's like, hey, we want to score as much as you can every week. And how you do that is going to be different. Situations in the game are going to be different, and ultimately, all of us just keeping that competitive mindset of, hey, we got to, this drive, this play, and ultimately just find a way to get one more than they do.